is Riot Games taking over the FGC. Hey, what's up, guys? K West from Wave eSports, and we're here to talk about the brand new acquisition from Riot Games. They actually bought the Rising Thunder team. So for those of you who don't know, Rising Thunder consisted of a team of Seth Killian, the Ponder Bros, plus a couple other people. Those are the main figureheads of the FGC for EVO.
So I think this is huge news, and I'm baffled that this is kind of flowing under everyone's radar, but kudos on Riot for stepping out of their comfort zone, right? They've had one thing and it's been a huge success, the biggest success in video game history. But this is a venture into something that may or may not pan out for them, and I find it courageous that they're at least taking the step in the first place.
One of the biggest things that, in my opinion, may not be talked about as much is the amount of crossover that's going to happen between League and the fighting game community now. So, for example, people that played League may not even know the fighting game community exists. FGC is a very small niche group of people. We only get at most a few thousand people, maybe a little bit more at major tournaments. So it's interesting to see how they're going to adapt from a 100% online presence for League to a hopefully being able to mix offline and online and maybe bridge the gap a little bit.
Something that I really hope doesn't fall on deaf ears is online play. I think the biggest, the struggle with FGC fighting game community is that it predominantly has to be offline. Now, your KI, Killer Instinct, and MKX really have stepped their game up and tried to make competitive play online viable. And I really hope that Riot was able to run with this even more so. And I think it would be amazing if there is a game that everyone gravitated to that really established this, we don't have to be here in person. And though I do love the camaraderie of going out to events and supporting your local scene and stuff like that, I think for the FGC as a whole to grow, it's very important that online is essential to the casual player and the competitive player.
So my favorite point in all this is definitely that Capcom finally has to sweat. Capcom hasn't really had any competition in a long time.
An important caveat to Capcom sweating is I don't wish bad on Capcom. I love Capcom specifically from a game standpoint. They've had questionable DLC issues. They've had questionable business practices. They still put out this game that is really fun to play. Whatever it may be. Not even fighting games. It's Resident Evils and stuff like that. So it really takes its time to develop a very fun game. So I really hope that they stick to their guns when it comes to the development of games and how they do it. However, I am excited that they're going to have to pay attention to someone else because you could talk about Smash or even MKX having a rise in relevancy, but there's no one touching Capcom at least at a higher level. But we're still talking such small numbers like 3,000, which is a world record setting for a fighting game tournament at EVO. To me, is so astronomically small in comparison to the millions and millions of unique players that they have playing League of Legends. And so I don't want this. I don't want this to be a battle. This doesn't need to be a war. I just want this to be competition. I want Capcom to feel like they need to step up because they might need to.
Yeah, and just to go off that point as well, honestly, Capcom gets away with a lot. For example, let's just say the Street Fighter V release, right? The release came out as shoddy, so the servers weren't up completely. It came off as incomplete. There is only, for example, if you're a single player, you only had survival mode. That's it. You had survival mode, versus mode, and online. That's it. And for a big blockbuster budget game, to be like, hey, we'll just add those in later, pretty much in another month. They really wanted to push Street Fighter V for Capcom Pro Tour, but at the same time, you can't really give up on what makes your core game. And while they did do an amazing job balancing it, I think they almost went too far into let's make it only competitive versus getting everybody together, casual and competitive.
We keep making mention of casual and competitive play because, to me, Riot Games does a really good happy medium between the two. We had a video a long time ago talking about was Riot better or was Dota 2 better. And it doesn't really matter, but the point of it was that League they just give them so much to both sides. And Capcom, I really am excited they finally listened to the competitive side. They kind of had a hard time balancing between the two, and it's exciting to see them finally come to the competitive side, maybe because they see the rise of eSports or whatever the reason, but now that they've gone too far the other direction, I hope Riot is able to be like, look, we're giving a good game that's evenly balanced, that suffices both parties, and it might still be free. So I'm really excited for what they might have to offer. This isn't a death wish to Capcom. This is, I hope you step up.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is it'll also be really nice to see what Riot does when it's not a MOBA. It may be a MOBA, we don't know yet, but it will now be Riot Games with an S at the end versus what is Riot Games known for? Just League. That's all they have. They only have League. I want to see what creative talents they have outside of League. Guys, we're going to be putting out content way more aggressively, probably almost 3 times a week. So make sure you like, subscribe to us.
And comment below. Fucking A. Alright, so drop. You wanna... That sounds like it's rough on your knees.
It is, but that's okay.
Okay. Alright, guys, we're gonna be putting... Your head's on.
Oh, shit.
Or I could just get a haircut. Whoa, emo boys.
Head's still in frame. It's hard, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go like this.
Your head's in frame.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So make sure you guys like, comment, and
What? You said my comment, though!
like, subscribe. Alright, I got it now.